welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Anthony Richardson has soared up the draft boards and without a doubt is going to be one of the first quarterbacks selected in next week's NFL draft. But will he succeed? Or will Anthony Richardson turn out to be a bust? That is what we are going to break down today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad that you could join us today as we start to begin our NFL draft coverage in preparation for next week's NFL draft. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our website, thegridironexpert.com. Tons of exclusive content and offers over there that you do not want to miss because, guys, here at the Gridiron Expert, college football never dies. The season never ends here at the Gridiron Expert. We want you to become a part of our team, become a part of our GE Nation, become a part of the conversation, and take advantage of everything that we have to offer here at our channel. And you can do that by liking, commenting, subscribing, and of course, hitting that notification button so you don't miss out on any of our future content going forward. So you take a look at Anthony Richardson, right? I mean, without a doubt, one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the history of the NFL Combine, and there is no denying his athletic ability. None at all. He is an absolute freak of nature. Many comparing him to a guy like Cam Newton, maybe a Michael Vick, in terms of his speed and his physique and just his overall natural athletic ability. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about Anthony Richardson that he has the strongest arm out of any quarterback in this year's NFL draft. I mean, the guy hit the ceiling at his Florida Pro Day. I mean, come on. That's absolutely ridiculous. So he has a heck of an arm, incredible strength, can launch it 70 yards down the field. It's unreal. Stands at 6'4", 244 pounds. Actually added some weight over this offseason. And last year, first year as a starter at Florida, first year under new coach Billy Napier, came out and threw for over 2,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. Not a bad mark. Not a bad mark. Also, we know he's a dangerous runner. Had over 650 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. So 26 touchdowns total, 9 interceptions. Not bad at all. Florida didn't really pan out, went 6-6 in the regular season. Anthony Richardson sat out of their bowl game against Oregon State, but he did all he could. Bottom line is, though, Anthony Richardson was wildly inaccurate. So while he's got the great speed, while he's got the great frame, while he's got the great arm, he only completed 53.8% of his passes. And I think that's something that a lot of people are slightly concerned about heading into the NFL draft. Is he a guy that can come in and immediately start day one, be a week one starter for whoever selects him? Or is he guys going to have to sit back, learn, and develop, and hopefully improve enough where he can be an NFL starter? You take a look at the pros and cons, okay? That's what we're looking at here. We're not here to focus on the negatives. We want every NFL draftee to succeed. No one wants to say someone's going to be a bust or hope they're going to be a bust. Not at all. But take a look at the pros and cons. You look at the pros, obviously, the huge arm is a major pro. I mean, being able to hit a streaking receiver 50, 60 yards down the field and hit him in stride, that's not something that every quarterback can do. That's not even something that every quarterback in the NFL right now can do. So that is something that obviously makes Richardson stand out from the rest. So the huge arm is phenomenal. And that's something I think a lot of people are kind of drooling over, is that athletic ability there. His frame is huge too. I mean, you're sitting there right now, 6'4". Obviously, you weigh great. He's got the height, he's got the hand size, he's got everything he got. So from a physique standpoint, Anthony Richardson has it. He is the almost ideal NFL quarterback in terms of his size and his frame. And then finally, you have his speed when it comes to pro. His speed is unreal. 4.43. That was the 40-yard dash time that he had. So he ran roughly a 4.40, and he's a quarterback. That's dangerous. He's got that mobility that Cam Newton had, that Michael Vick had, that Lamar Jackson has. All those guys succeeded, I'd say, pretty dang well at the next level. But then you look at the cons. And some good pros there, but the cons. Obviously, the inaccuracy is a bit of a concern. 53.8% completion percentage last year in his first full year as a starter. And if you look a little bit deeper, he had 4 games last year where he completed less than 50% of his passes. His last collegiate game came against Florida State. He went just 9 for 27, completed just 33.3% of his passes for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception and just 198 total yards. Against South Carolina, he completed 47.8% of his passes for 2 touchdowns and 96 rushing yards, another rushing touchdown. Against Georgia, 48.6% of his passes for just 1 touchdown and only 19 rushing yards. And then against Kentucky, arguably his worst performance of the year that he followed up with from the best performance of the year. He had that great game against Utah in week 1. Next week against Kentucky in the Swamp, he went 14 for 35, completing just 40% of his passes and 2 very, very bad and very, very costly interceptions in the loss of the Wildcats in Gainesville. So 4 games where he completed less than 50% of his passes, Florida clearly losing the majority of those. So that is a major concern there. His inaccuracy and his ability to be very inconsistent. Another thing, too, Richardson does rely a lot on his mobility. And obviously, the style of offense that Florida ran kind of catered to his ability there. And we saw a couple breakout runs, like the 80-yard run that he had against LSU was absolutely unreal. And that was kind of one that showed flashes and signs of Cam Newton. But is that mobility going to work well in the NFL? Yes, we've seen guys do it. Cam Newton did it. Michael Vick did it. Lamar Jackson is continuing to do it. But that's obviously something that you kind of want to stray away from. You don't want to have a quarterback that relies solely on his feet. You need a guy that can hit you both ways. He's a guy that right now, the other con, is not a guy that can stand in the pocket and solely pick you apart. If I'm a defense and Anthony Richardson's my opposing quarterback, I am not scared of him standing in the pocket and just picking apart my secondary. He might be able to connect on a few deep bombs every now and then, but if you can contain him in the pocket, I don't see Anthony Richardson succeeding extremely well. And that's kind of something that I think a lot of NFL defenses right now are understanding and looking at, but it's also something that can change for Anthony Richardson. That's something that he can work on in a place where he can be developed. No doubt about it. He's going to be a rookie. Most guys aren't expected to come into the league immediately and make an immediate impact, expected to be the next superstar as a rookie. But again, if whoever drafts him expects him to be a day one starter, it might not turn out extremely well. It might be a bit of a rude awakening. It's a guy that, again, only had 3 games. 3 games where he completed over 60% of his passes. Texas A&M, Eastern Washington, and Utah being those 3 games last year. So you look at Anthony Richardson. Tons of pros, tons of cons. Ultimately, though, what's it come down to? It comes down to potential and upside. From the athletic ability and what we have seen on the tape and what we know of Anthony Richardson, there is a lot of potential there. That if he gets put in the right system, if he gets put under the right coach, with the right team, with the right talent, it could work. A lot of potential. And ultimately, that's kind of what you're drafting for in the NFL draft. You're not solely basing it off of this guy's going to come in and lead us to a Super Bowl in year 1. He's going to lead us to the playoffs in year 1. It's okay. Can we rebuild with you? Can we develop you? And can you eventually turn it into what we need you to be? Can you eventually mold and fit into what our system is? Anthony Richardson certainly has that potential. No doubt about it. Could be the Panthers that draft him at number 1. Could be the Texans that draft him at number 2. Could be the Colts that draft him. Many believe it probably will be the Colts, with guys like Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud probably being taken earlier in the draft. But Anthony Richardson right now is a first-round NFL draft pick. It's inevitable. He's probably going to be a top 10 NFL draft pick. There's no doubt about it. Those 3 teams we mentioned, more than likely one of them is going to land him. Be a shock if you went anywhere else. But you never know on draft day. Tons of trades. You never know what can happen. Lots of upside, lots of potential, but a lot of concern. And if I'm a GM right now, I'm leaning more towards the concern side. I'm a little concerned at what I'm seeing at Anthony Richardson and the fear of, can he really truly be the guy that can turn my franchise around? We hope that he can be. We hope that he succeeds. But right now, I lean more towards no. A couple great flashes of brilliance here and there, but not a long-term answer at the position. But time will tell. He's an absolute freak of nature. He's the most athletic quarterback in this draft. And we're very anxious and excited to see where he will land and how he will do at the next level. So guys, as always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos here at the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad that you could join us today. So again, we begin our NFL draft coverage that will stretch from now all the way until next Thursday when the NFL draft begins. So as always, continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, hit that notification button, and check out everything down in the description below for more exclusive content and offers over at thegridironexpert.com. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.